everyone, it's Rachel again. For this What's Left presentation, I'm actually going to be talking about my third project because I didn't get a chance to show any kind of rough draft or work for my third project, my safety guide, yet, because I was so focused on my ebook. So this is the guide I made, the outline of my safety guide. I'm fudging the requirement a little bit because honestly I don't know about the safety of really anything, but I do work at printing services at Salt Lake Community College, the Redwood campus, so I thought my safety guide should be about practicing safe printing, which means sending us files that actually work and get you the results you want. So I think that this is going to be an interactive PDF. I know I need 3 forms of interactivity, so I'm going to have navigation buttons, I'm going to have links to a lot of how-to videos and also to a lot of files. Then my third form of interactivity, I'm not super sure. I might embed videos too, we'll see. So I'm going to have 5 pages or slides. The first page is going to be an intro and a table of contents. The second is going to be about vectors versus rasters. The third is going to be about resolution. The fourth is going to be about bleeds. And the fifth is going to be a glossary of commonly used printing terms. So page 1, the intro and table of contents. I'm just going to have a short intro saying, you know, there's a lot of people out there who don't understand how printing works and don't understand how files work, and like that's totally okay, but here is an informative little packet that I can give you so you can practice safe printing and get the output that you expect. And then I will have a link to each of my 4 pages on this first page as well. So my second page is vectors versus rasters. I'd like to define each, a raster being a pixel file and a vector being not a pixel file, and just clarify that you can enlarge vectors as much as you want and they won't look pixelated, and this is best for logos. And then I'd love to have some images on this page, just like show the same image as a vector and a raster and like have a little magnifying glass showing that if you zoom in on the raster file, you'll get pixelation versus if you zoom in on the vector file, you will never get pixelation. And that is why you want your logo to be a vector. Kind of bouncing off of that raster idea, talk about resolution, that I think I'll show some images, like the same photo at different resolutions to show how pixelation happens. And also just clarify that ideal printing resolution is going to be 300 dpi or more, assuming that your document is sized correctly, because if it's tiny and it's 300 dpi, we still can't print it. The next one is going to be about bleeds. I think working at printing services, this is the hardest thing for people to understand and the thing most people don't understand, and that is that most commercial printers do not print to the edges of pages. They kind of fake that they can print to the edges of pages by printing your art on a larger piece of paper and then cutting it down to kind of achieve the illusion that you have printed to the edge of the page. And then what bleed is that sometimes our cutting machines aren't so precise. So if your art goes just exactly to where you want it to be, we'll cut it and maybe there'll be a tiny sliver of white. So bleeds is when you extend your art 1/8 of an inch outside of the trim marks to ensure that the printers have something to cut into. So I'd like to really clarify that. I want a lot of graphics on this page so people deeply, deeply understand bleeds. I'd like a link to probably YouTube videos that explain how to set up bleeds in InDesign and Illustrator, as well as maybe some links to templates, because a lot of people make their designs in Word and Publisher. So if I could find some templates that include bleeds for Word and Publisher, I think that'd be good. And then my last page is going to be a glossary. I want to do file types, so like what are these files you're talking about? And then different programs that are used for design and kind of what kind of files they create. So like Illustrator makes vectors, Photoshop makes rasters, Word makes, I don't know, Word documents, I guess. And then different terms that people might come across if they're printing something. I haven't really thought about accessibility yet, except for that I plan to have a lot of graphics. This document is really based in English for sure, because we're talking about terms and definitions of terms in English, and I don't feel competent in any other language to translate it. But I think I could use enough graphics that a non-English speaker could pick up on the terms within the document while reading it. And that's how you practice safe printing. So my major question is, does this sound okay, or am I fudging the terms of the project a little too much? Other than that, if anybody has input or like a really concise definition of what a bleed is, I would super duper appreciate it. Other than that, I am going to start working on graphics and start compiling some images, start doing some design work, and get this going. Thanks.